Capricorn, this is EJ from Taurota Tarot. I hope you guys had a wonderful 4th of July. Hope you had a good extended weekend. This Capricorn is your how's your money, how's your honey reading for the month of July 2019. You get 3 for the money, 3 for the honey, 2 for overall energy, and 3 for guidance from the universe. 2 more shuffles, Capricorn. A reminder, I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. So let's see what we got going on, Capricorn, at the bottom of the deck. Oh, y'all running around. Okay, look at that. And the second card, Queen. The Queen of Coin. I promise you the Queen will make herself known when we get there. And just if you want to be nosy and look at what the third card is, there it is. Bada boop, bada bing. So let's see what we got going on with your money. So first card is the Ace of Swords, Capricorn. Second card is the Queen of Swords. Third card is the Empress. And for your honey, we have the Star card, the Ten of Swords, or I'm sorry, Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. So y'all got a lot of little passion going on here, Capricorn. Let me find out. All this air and a little bit of fire thrown in the boot. But let me say this before I start this. This is mental energy. This is all coming back. Y'all are in your head tough. And your overall energy is that you're trying to deal with a situation that you really don't have any control of at this point. One of the meanings of this card is trying to tame wild energy. And you want to just go a step further and go beyond that. It's about trying to control situations you really don't have any control over at this point. This is definitely coming back with the relationship piece and the money piece. So let's see what we got going on here. I promise you the Queen of Coin will make herself known when we get to her. So with your money, you got 2 air cards right off the bat, 2 swords. And so before I even think about what they mean or tell you what I hear, I will just say this. Y'all are in your heads. Y'all are in your heads tough. You are worrying about where money is coming from. It looks like some of you are going through transition. Others of you are trying to get to a better position on your job. Some of you are trying to leave your job and start businesses. Some of you have already started businesses. And y'all are in your head. Period. I can't say nothing else before I say that. Communication card. But it's more than that. This is about your money and what's going on with your money and how you can better handle your money and how you're communicating with yourself even about your money. And so you're going to have to understand, Capricorn, what you can control and what you can't control. And it feels like some of you were relating to work and how you make your money. You got a lot of stuff going on that really is not in your control. So with that said, you've got to get some better thinking patterns going on in your head, because right now it's like, fuck, money, and you are just beating yourself up about it. And you're not going to be able to manifest a damn thing if you're busy beating yourself up about why you don't have something. So the communication, and I'm really talking about the communication you have with you. You got to lighten up, and you have just got to take a step back and look at everything that you have at your disposal. Everything. Not just what you think is important or not dealing with the stuff you think is not important. You need to look at all of it, because that will give you a better sense of where you are. With the Queen right next to the Ace, it's really about going back to the drawing board, if you will, and looking at everything that you know and understand about money, and maybe looking at things that maybe need to be fine-tuned as far as how you're looking at your finances, how you look at how you spend your money and who you spend your money on. All of this is coming back that you need to go ahead and put some boundaries in place. And if you've got boundaries in place, if you've got things written down about this is what I want to do with my money, or these are my goals, look at them. and look at what doesn't resonate with you, because it feels like for a lot of you, what you are holding on to as far as what you think about money is outdated. And probably rightfully so. I think a lot of us right now are holding on to outdated ideas about money. You only have to look at the news and see um, banks are downsizing. I just read something today. Deutsche Bank in Germany, they are trying to cut. I think I saw something to the tune of 18,000 jobs between New York and London. So that's telling me banks are even looking at how they're dealing with money differently. This not the securities. It's another part of finance that this group deals with, and they're just simply, Deutsche Bank doesn't feel like they're competitive in that market anymore, so they just get ready to get rid of a whole bunch of folks. How you think about your money, Capricorn. It may be time to update. It may be, you might need to go take a financial planning class and learn something new. Because if you're holding on to old and outdated ideas about money, that can get you in trouble. That can also set you up for failure. And that is definitely not what you're trying to do. And if you need to change, again, understand this is a situation that really you don't have any control over. The way that we are dealing with things now, even the way that people are working, we live in a gig economy now. So people are no longer just working one job. People are working their job and then going home and cleaning up the car and doing Uber for 6 hours. So you may need to, Capricorn, quit trying to control a situation that's out of your control and start thinking about maybe updating your thinking on your money. With the Empress here at the end of this, I can just feel your self-esteem is tied up in your money. And I get it. It makes sense. Most people are like that when they don't have enough money, or when they're trying to figure out what to do with their money. A lot of times their self-esteem will take a hit. You don't have to go there, Capricorn, because who you are as a person, fuck the money, but who you are as a person is what counts. And if you are that good soul that I believe that you are, you really don't have to have, you don't have to have your self-esteem tied up in your dollars. It's not necessary, because your self-esteem is about who you are on the inside and not how much money you're spending on the outside, or even if you have any money. If you don't have any money, you still work that magic, baby. Work that magic. Don't let your self-esteem get caught up with shit that's on the outside. All of this should come from the inside. When we get to the honey road, y'all are on their stars, wishes and dreams. I'm wishing for a better love. Yep, there you go. And that's a good thing. And this is a major card. So this is telling me this is a good time for you to be thinking about your love life. It feels like a lot of you don't have anybody in particular right now. Some of you may be trying to start new romances. Others of you may be ending romances. But at any rate, it's still about your hopes, wishes, and dreams and what you want out of your relationship. That in turn with the Ten of Wands is causing more stress, because you're trying to figure out, how can I make myself to be Mr. or Mrs. Right and not Mr. or Mrs. Right now? How do I do this? And this is on your head. You're thinking about it. You may be even talking to your friends about it. You know, how can I not be so stressed out about trying to manifest this relationship? Which in turn gets you right over here to the Nine of Wands. And these two right here is passion. Those are fire cards. So you might be dealing with an Aries, a Leo, or Sagittarius, or you may be dealing with someone who has one of those signs in their natal, one or all of them prominently in their natal chart. So it's understandable. I feel like some of you do have your eye on someone in particular. However, you got this stress thing going on. And this is related to your money as well. And then, yeah, your brain's on fire. What the hell? Don't exaggerate. How can I say this? Don't blow your relationship status all out the water. So if you aren't currently dating anybody, don't make it sound like it's the damn end of the world. It ain't. If you are dating somebody, don't make them sound like some fashion model, and they ain't. It's okay. Whoever you choose to date, you don't have to be uncomfortable about it. If that's where your heart is, that's where your heart is. Again, you're dealing with situations that you really don't have any control over right now. And again, I feel the money thing is tied up in this. You may want to do big time dating and hanging out, and it's summertime, and that's understandable. But right now, you may not have the resources. Again, that's a situation that you cannot control. The Queen is speaking, and really, what this is coming back, don't get messy with this Capricorn. Don't let your money and your love and all of this transitional energy just get messy, where you just want to throw your hands up and go, fuck it, I don't feel like being bothered with none of this shit. Again, it's about understanding these situations, things that are happening within those situations are really out of your control at this point. And so you're going to have to take a step back. Just because something is out of your control does not mean you don't need to have guidelines and parameters set up, because at some point it won't be out of your control. So just understand that, so your time is not wasted if you're working on how you're thinking about money, how you're communicating with yourself about money. Your time is not wasted wishing and dreaming for a good relationship. That is never, ever, ever a waste of time. It becomes a waste of time when you let it stress you out, when you let it overwhelm you, and you let it just bring you down. And that's when shit has a tendency to get messy. If I were reading this reverse, she would look like this, and that's messy. And you ain't trying to do messy. So that's a word up from the universe. Don't let all of this overwhelm you. Understand that some of this is out of your control. Please be patient, and you will move through this energy. Whatever work that you need to do as far as your self-talk, not coming off too hard on yourself about whatever predicament you may be in at this current moment with your money and your relationship. Just know that it will change, and as long as you continue to do the work that you need to do, everything should be fine. Let's see what the universe has for guidance for you, Capricorn. Let's shuffle these a couple times. Yeah, y'all are in your heads. Y'all are. Please stop. Please go to bed. Please don't be all up all night worrying about what's going on. You're going to be good, Capricorn. I promise you, you will be good. But I can just feel a lot of you are anxious and nervous and tense. You may be having problems sleeping right now. You may even be having problems trying to communicate with your lover because you just got all this shit right on top of your head. Try to take a step back, Cap, and just you don't have to be in control of this. Like I said, a lot of this is out of your control. So quit trying to fight that urge to be in control when you ain't got shit to do with none of it, no way, and let things go the way they're going to go. When the energy shifts here in the next month or so, you should feel some relief. Just know that. All right, let's see what the oracles got. Disruption, new beginnings. How about that? Victory and success. All y'all got to do is breathe. Alright, so it's disruption. Let's just talk about it. Shit. You having conversations with yourself about your money, and the conversations ain't even making no damn sense. And this is a disruption. Let's just talk about that part. When your money ain't right, when you're in between jobs, you thought you were going to leave a job and go to the other one, and the other one decided they were going to hire somebody else up, and you just got left stranded. Shit like that does happen. And it becomes a disruption. But don't let the disruption become so big that it's got you over here with your head in your Cheerios. It's a transition, that's all. If you can just keep in mind that you're making a shift from one thing to another, when you get to the other side of it, you will be fine. But just understand, this is nothing but disruption. And disruption usually comes when you need, this is just 1 minute and an inch short of a tower. It usually happens when you need to have some disruption. You need your foundation shook up some so you can make the changes. You're thinking about your money. You may need this disruption to help you see what you need to see. You may also need this disruption to see what you need to see about your love life. And without it, you may not see it. So don't get disgruntled that you have a disruption and that your life may not be as stable as you little goats like it. It's all good. I promise you the energy's going to change and your situation will change as well. New beginnings. Y'all heard me? It's coming, but you got to be patient. The biggest thing you can do at this point, Cap, especially knowing that, and that's resonating back both financial and love, that you have new beginnings on the horizon, is to get it together in your head. Get it together in your head. The truths that you're telling yourself, the way you communicate with yourself about your money. Get it together in your head. What does your perfect relationship look like? Not that it's going to be perfect, but what does it look like? What does that other person, male or female, what do they look like? There's no need to stress on it. It really isn't, because the new beginning, looking at it right there, it is right there. And at the end of all of this, the universe is telling you, you will ultimately have victory and success. But it's going to take time. I just said this in another reading. It's going to take the energy to align up, your energy as well as universal energy, to just settle down and line up the way you need it to. And you know what you want to do, Capricorn. You know financially what you'd like to do, where you'd like to be working. You know romantically who you'd like to be kicking it with, who you'd like to be dating. For some of you, even who you'd like to move in with. Y'all know this. Give it a minute. Take a step back. Do what Mercury retrograde is naturally allowing you to do. Review what you've done so far with your money and your relationships. Reassess the things that you have, the tools that you have. Do you need to go back to school? Some of you may need to go consider thinking about going back to school. That will go a long way in helping with your self-esteem and helping you to get a firmer stance with your money. I'll just put it that way. Cap, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys have a good week. Please try to take it easy on yourself as well as everybody else that you're dealing with. Remember, you can't control this. This is out of your control. And everything will be all good here shortly. I love you, Cap. Have a good one. Talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.